The pregnancy test sat in my purse, still warm from my hands. 2 pink lines. After 3 years of IVF treatments, failed cycles, and empty promises, I was finally pregnant. My phone rang. Unknown number. Mrs. Hayes, this is County General Hospital. Your husband Ryan was in a car accident. He's in critical condition. You need to come now. The test slipped from my fingers. I grabbed my keys and ran. I drove too fast, ran red lights. My hands shook on the steering wheel. Ryan's last text glowed on my phone screen in the cup holder. Working late, love you. The hospital parking lot blurred. I ran through automatic doors, my heels clicking on tile. Ryan Hayes, ICU. Where is he? The nurse checked her computer. Her face changed. Ma'am, his family is already with him. I am his family. I'm his wife. She looked uncomfortable. There are others in the room. I didn't wait. I pushed past her, following the signs to ICU. Room 4. The curtain was closed. I ripped it open, and my entire world collapsed. Ryan lay in the bed, unconscious, tubes everywhere, machines beeping. But that's not what destroyed me. Patricia, my mother-in-law, stood by the window. She wasn't alone. A woman I'd never seen, blonde, younger than me, sat in the chair beside Ryan's bed. Her hand held his. She was crying into his hospital gown. And beside her stood a little boy, 5 years old maybe. He clutched Ryan's jacket, the leather one I'd bought him for Christmas. The boy looked up at me with Ryan's eyes. "Daddy?" he whispered. The room tilted. I grabbed the doorframe. Patricia's head snapped up. Our eyes met. No shock, no guilt, just cold calculation. She stepped in front of the blonde woman, blocking me, protecting her. "Lena," Patricia said. My name sounded like poison. "You shouldn't be here." "That's my husband," I whispered. The blonde woman looked up. Her mascara ran black down her cheeks. She wore a diamond ring, not a wedding ring, something else, expensive. "Get out," Patricia hissed. I tried to move forward. My legs wouldn't work. "Ryan, I need to see—" Patricia stepped into my path. She was taller than me, bigger. She'd always made me feel small, but never like this. "You've stressed him enough with your barrenness," she said. The word hit like a slap. "Let his real family say goodbye." Real family. The boy started crying. The blonde woman, Chloe, I would learn later, pulled him close. "I'm his wife," I said again, louder now. "I have a right—" "You have nothing." Patricia's eyes were ice. She looked at my hands. I was still holding the get well soon balloons I'd bought from the hospital gift shop. She grabbed them from me. Her diamond ring caught the latex. Pop, pop, pop. 3 balloons burst in my face. "He chose them," Patricia said, pointing at Chloe and the boy. "He just didn't have the guts to tell you." The nurse appeared behind me. "Ma'am, you need to leave. You're upsetting the patient's family." I looked at Ryan, still unconscious, still silent, still a coward. I left, but I memorized that room. The blonde woman's face, the boy's eyes, Patricia's cruel smile. They thought I would disappear quietly. They were wrong. The rain started as I pulled into our driveway. My key wouldn't turn in the lock. I tried again. Wrong key? No. The same key I'd used this morning. The locks had been changed. Patricia's black Mercedes sat in the driveway. My driveway. My house. The front door opened. Patricia stood there, holding my jewelry box, the mahogany one Ryan's grandmother gave me on our wedding day. "What are you doing?" I asked. "The house is in the family trust, Lena. Your name was never on the deed." She smiled. "You're trespassing." "This is my home." Was. Past tense. She set the jewelry box on the porch. "You can take this. The rest stays with the estate." "You can't—" "I can. I did. The trust lawyer filed the paperwork yesterday." She crossed her arms. "You were always temporary, Lena. A placeholder until Ryan found someone who could give him a family." The rain soaked through my coat. I looked at the windows, my curtains, my furniture, my life, and realized this wasn't a reaction to Ryan's accident. This was planned, coordinated. They've been waiting for the right moment to throw me away. Patricia closed the door. The lock clicked. I stood on the curb, rain mixing with tears, one hand on my stomach, where a baby grew that no one knew about yet. Homeless, pregnant, betrayed, but not broken. I drove to a hotel. My credit card declined at the front desk. "Try another card, please," the receptionist said gently. Declined, declined, declined. I sat in my car and opened my banking app with shaking hands. Joint savings, $0 and 0 cents. We'd had $60,000 in that account, 3 years of saving for IVF treatments, for the nursery, for our future. Gone. I scrolled through the transaction history. 5 days ago, wire transfer, $60,000 to C. Miller Consulting. C. Miller, Chloe Miller, the blonde woman from the hospital. I clicked on the memo line. House down payment. I funded her house. My IVF money bought the mistress a home. The parking lot spun. I pressed my forehead against the steering wheel and screamed until my throat burned. Then I called the only person I had left. "Becca, I need a place to stay." Ryan woke up 3 days later, Becca told me. She'd been calling the hospital, pretending to be a cousin. I snuck in during visiting hours. Patricia was in the cafeteria. Chloe had taken the boy to school. Ryan's eyes opened when I walked in. He saw me, really saw me. I pulled the pregnancy test from my purse, set it on his bedside table. "We're pregnant," I said. He didn't smile. His face went pale, then terrified. "Lena, I can't what? Be a father to your own child? Mom said you'd ruin everything." His voice cracked. He wouldn't look at me. "Chloe has a son. He's 5. I need to be there for him. I need to be a father." "You are a father. To this baby." He reached for the call button, pressed it. "Ryan, what are you—" The nurse appeared, then security. "This woman is harassing me. Please remove her." Security escorted me out while Ryan, the father of my child, watched from his hospital bed and said nothing. Becca's couch became my home. Her apartment was small, but she never complained. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. I kept replaying the hospital scene, Patricia's words, the little boy's face. Ryan's old tablet sat in my bag, something he'd left at Becca's during a dinner party months ago. I powered it on, expecting nothing. It synced to his cloud automatically. Photos loaded, hundreds of them. Disney World, Ryan and Chloe and the boy on Space Mountain. Hawaii, the 3 of them on a beach, Patricia in the background building a sandcastle. Christmas, the boy opening presents in front of a tree I didn't recognize. Patricia holding him on her lap. The dates made me sick. 3 years ago, 2 years ago, last Christmas. All while I was getting hormone injections, while I was crying over negative pregnancy tests, while Patricia was telling me to stay positive. Then I found the video. Patricia's voice clear as day. "Don't worry, sweetheart. Daddy will leave that boring woman soon. Then you'll have him all the time." The boy's voice. "Promise?" "Promise." I watched it 3 times. Then I saved it to my private drive. The process server found me at work. Everyone in the office watched as I signed for the envelope. Divorce papers, filed by Ryan's attorney. The terms made my hands shake. $0 alimony, $0 settlement. Accusations of financial infidelity for spending marital funds on IVF treatments without his full consent. My phone rang an hour later. Patricia. "Sign the papers, Lena. Don't make this ugly." "You made it ugly the day you helped him cheat." "Careful, I could call your boss right now. Tell him you're unstable, emotional, unfit for client work." She paused. "My company is your firm's biggest client. 1 call and you're unemployed." I looked at my computer screen. My client list stared back at me.
Vantage Holdings, Patricia's family company, our largest account. She had me trapped, or so she thought. I didn't quit. I didn't sign. Instead, I applied for the senior forensic auditor position that had just opened. It was 3 levels above my current role, a promotion I'd been too scared to pursue. The interview was brutal. 4 partners grilling me on tax law and financial analysis. They gave me a dummy case, a company with suspicious consulting fees. I found the fraud in 12 minutes. "You're hired," the lead partner said. "Your first assignment is our quarterly audit of Vantage Holdings, Patricia Hayes' estate company." My heart stopped, then started again, harder. When do I start? Monday. I walked out of that conference room with my head high. Patricia thought she'd cornered me. She thought I'd slink away quietly. She forgot what I did for a living. I wasn't a victim anymore. I was an auditor, and I was about to audit her entire life. The Vantage Holdings files were massive. Years of financial records, property holdings, investment accounts. I started digging on my first day. Consulting fees caught my eye immediately. C. Miller Consulting appeared over and over. $3,000 here, $5,000 there, sometimes $20,000. I added them up. $200,000 over 5 years. Chloe had been paid $200,000 through Patricia's company. For what? The invoices were vague. Marketing consultation, brand development. I checked Chloe's credentials. No marketing degree, no business license, no consulting history. These weren't consulting fees. They were payments to the mistress, disguised as business expenses to evade taxes. This wasn't just a family betrayal anymore. This was federal tax fraud.
My 12-week ultrasound fell on a Tuesday. I went alone. The technician moved the wand across my belly, then stopped, smiled. "Want to hear the heartbeat?" The sound filled the room, fast and strong. Real. Tears came before I could stop them. "Healthy baby," the technician said. "Perfect size." I stared at the screen, that tiny flutter. That was my child. Patricia wanted to erase this baby's existence. Ryan had pressed a call button to have me removed rather than face this pregnancy. But this baby was real, and I would protect it. I drove back to the office, opened my laptop, created a new folder. I named it the Nursery Fund. Every piece of evidence went into that folder. Every fraudulent transaction, every lie. Patricia thought she'd won. She had no idea what was coming. The email arrived 2 weeks later, from Patricia directly to the audit team. Subject: minor oversight. Team, there's a missing receipt for $50,000 from Q2. Filing error on our end. Please overlook it in your report. We'll locate the paperwork eventually. Best, Patricia Hayes. I read it twice. She didn't realize I was the lead auditor now. I'd been using my maiden name, Lena Torres, on all audit correspondence. She'd just asked me to participate in fraud. I hit reply all. Patricia, we'll look into it thoroughly. Standard procedure requires documentation for all expenses over $10,000. We'll need that receipt before closing the audit. Best, L. Torres, Senior Forensic Auditor. Then I started tracking that $50,000. It took 3 days, but I found it. Luxury auto dealer, a Porsche, registered to Ryan Hayes. He'd bought himself a $50,000 car with company funds while I was sleeping on a couch. I printed the receipt, added it to the folder. I saw Chloe at the grocery store on a Saturday. She didn't see me at first. She wore my diamond necklace, the one Ryan's grandmother gave me on our wedding day, the one that was in my jewelry box the night Patricia locked me out. Chloe looked happy, confident. She picked up organic apples, designer water, gourmet cheese. At checkout, she paid with a corporate credit card. I moved closer, casual, pretending to browse magazines. The card reader showed the name, Vantage Holdings. She was buying groceries with Patricia's corporate card. When she walked past me, she finally noticed. Her eyes widened. Then she smiled.
Lena, how are you? Fake sweetness dripped from every word. Good, thanks. Ryan said you were desperate. She touched the necklace, my necklace. He's so much happier now. We're so much better for him. I pulled out my phone, snapped a photo. She looked confused. What are you? Enjoy the necklace, Chloe. It's evidence. Her smile died. I walked away, receipt photo saved, corporate card number documented. I needed legal protection for what I was about to do. The evidence was damning, but exposing it would destroy Ryan too. He was still technically the father of my child. Marcus Brennan was a tax attorney I'd worked with on previous cases. He was known for two things: brilliant legal strategy and hatred of bullies. I called him. We met at a coffee shop. I showed him everything: the transfers, the fake consulting fees, the corporate card abuse, Patricia's email asking me to overlook the $50,000. He was quiet for a long time. If you release this, they go to prison. Both of them. Maybe Chloe too. He looked at me seriously. Are you ready to put your child's father in jail? I touched my stomach, felt the small bump that was just starting to show. He put himself there, I said. Marcus nodded. Then let's do this right. We report this to the IRS. You'll qualify for whistleblower protection and potentially a reward if they recover taxes. How long? The investigation will take months, but we can accelerate things if we have the right venue. He smiled. Does Patricia have any big public events coming up? I thought of her social media, always posting about charity work, society events, her perfect family image. Then I remembered. Her gala, next month. She hosts a charity event every year, like Matriarch of the Year or something. Perfect, Marcus said. Let's make sure she gets the recognition she deserves.
The invitation arrived in my work email 2 weeks later. Vantage Holdings cordially invites you to the annual Matriarch of the Year charity gala. This year's theme, Family Values and Financial Transparency. Special request. We would be honored if our new senior auditor could attend and provide remarks on Vantage Holdings' commitment to ethical business practices. I read it 3 times. Patricia was inviting the auditor to vouch for her company. She wanted me to stand on stage and praise her integrity. She still didn't know the auditor was me. I showed Marcus. He laughed out loud. She's handing you the stage, he said. The microphone, the audience, she's gift-wrapping her own destruction. I typed my response carefully. Delighted to attend. Looking forward to sharing my audit findings with your guests. Best regards, L. Torres. I hit send. 1 month until the gala. 1 month to prepare. 1 month until Patricia's perfect world collapsed in front of everyone she'd ever wanted to impress. The night of the gala arrived cold and clear. I stood in Becca's bathroom, staring at my reflection. 5 months pregnant. The bump was obvious now, no hiding it. I wore a red dress. Not black, not subtle. Red, bold, impossible to ignore. Becca zipped me up. You sure about this? Completely. The venue was downtown. Chandeliers, orchestra, women in gowns and men in tuxedos. Patricia's world. Old money, high society. I walked in alone. The room went silent. Heads turned, whispers started. Patricia stood near the bar, champagne in hand. She saw me. Her face went white, then red. The champagne glass shook. Ryan stood beside her. He looked like he'd seen a ghost. Patricia stormed across the room. What are you doing here? Security. I held up my badge, the one with my full name. Lena Torres, Senior Forensic Auditor. I'm the auditor you invited, Patricia. It's time for the financial transparency speech. Her mouth opened. No sound came out. The board of directors watched from their table, waiting. Patricia couldn't make a scene without looking guilty. She had to let me speak. She had no choice. The stage is yours, she finally said through clenched teeth. I walked to the podium, plugged in my laptop. The projector hummed to life behind me. Patricia sat down in the front row. Ryan beside her. Chloe appeared from somewhere, clutching his arm. I smiled at the crowd. Good evening. Let's talk about family values. The first slide appeared. The Vantage Holdings logo. Professional,
clean. Vantage Holdings prides itself on family, I began. Patricia Hayes built this company on the foundation of family values. Tonight, I'd like to show you exactly what those values cost. Patricia leaned forward, suspicious now. I clicked to the next slide. Wire transfers. Every payment to C. Miller Consulting. Dates, amounts, 5 years of payments. $200,000 in consulting fees paid to Miss Chloe Miller over 5 years for marketing consultation. I paused. Miss Miller has no marketing credentials, no business license, no consulting history. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Chloe's face drained of color. Next slide. The grocery receipt. The corporate card. Vantage Holdings corporate cards were also used for personal expenses, groceries, clothing, jewelry. I zoomed in on the necklace in the photo, the same necklace now around Chloe's neck. People were taking out their phones, recording. But the most interesting discovery was this. The $50,000 Porsche receipt filled the screen, Ryan's name on the registration. A $50,000 luxury vehicle, purchased with company funds, labeled as a business expense. Patricia stood up. "This is slander. You're lying." "I'm an auditor, Patricia. I don't lie. I show receipts." I clicked to the final slide. The email, her email, asking me to overlook the missing $50,000. This is Patricia Hayes, in her own words, asking the audit team to participate in fraud. The room erupted. Patricia lunged toward the podium. Ryan tried to grab her arm. She shook him off. "She's just a bitter ex-wife. She's lying. All of it is lies." "Then explain this." I played the video. Patricia's voice filled the ballroom. "Don't worry, sweetheart. Daddy will leave that boring woman soon." Everyone heard it. Everyone saw the timestamp. 3 years old, while Ryan and I were still married. Patricia froze. The back doors of the ballroom opened. 3 people in suits walked in, FBI badges visible. Marcus had made the call an hour before the gala started.
Patricia Hayes? The lead agent approached. "We need to speak with you about tax evasion and fraud." Patricia's face crumbled. The mask dropped. She grabbed Ryan's arm. Tell them I didn't know." Ryan stepped back, away from her. "You made me do this. You planned everything. The second family, the payments, all of it." "You coward!" Patricia screamed. The guests were recording everything, phones everywhere. This would be viral by morning. The agent placed handcuffs on Patricia's wrists. "You have the right to remain silent." Another agent approached Ryan. "Mr. Hayes, we'll need to question you as well." Chloe tried to leave. An agent stopped her. "Miss Miller, please don't leave the venue." I stood on the stage, watching it all unfold. Patricia screaming, Ryan crying, Chloe panicking, the society crowd witnessing the spectacular fall. I unplugged my laptop, walked down the stage steps. My red dress swished around my legs. My hand rested on my pregnant belly. Patricia saw me as they led her past. "You destroyed us! You destroyed this family!" "No," I said quietly. "You did that yourself. I just audited it." They took her away. The crowd parted, let me through. I walked out of that ballroom with my head high and my evidence secure. The trial took 6 months. Patricia fought it, hired expensive lawyers, tried to blame Ryan, tried to blame the accountant, tried to blame me. The evidence didn't lie. She was convicted on 8 counts of tax fraud and 1 count of conspiracy. Ryan took a plea deal, cooperation in exchange for reduced charges. Chloe was sued for return of assets and lost the house my IVF money had bought. The IRS awarded me a whistleblower reward, 15% of the recovered taxes, over $300,000. I bought a cottage outside the city, 2 bedrooms, a nursery with yellow walls and white furniture, a garden. Peace. My daughter was born on a Tuesday morning, 7 pounds 6 ounces. Perfect. I named her Grace. Grace is 3 months old now. She sleeps in my arms while I rock in the chair by the window. Sunlight streams through the curtains. Birds sing outside. Patricia is in federal prison, 18 months. Ryan visits her sometimes. He asked to meet Grace once. I said no. He signed away his parental rights without a fight. Chloe moved back to her hometown. The boy went with her. I hope he's okay. He's innocent in all this. Sometimes I think about that night at the hospital. The curtain, the boy's eyes, Patricia's cruelty. I thought my life was ending. It was only beginning. I lost a husband, but I gained a life. A real life. One built on truth instead of lies. On strength instead of submission. I look at Grace. She has my nose, my dark hair. She's perfect. And she'll grow up knowing her mother fought for her, protected her, refused to disappear quietly. Before I go, tell me where you're listening from. Drop a comment. Let me know if stories like this resonate with you. And if you believe in fighting for what's rightfully yours, hit subscribe, because I'm not done telling stories about women who refuse to be erased. We're just getting started.